My name is Carolina Teresa.
And I'm Melissa Rich.
And this is Hoes with Feelings. Hey girl, what a time, what a time, what a time.
What a time. How are you feeling?
I feel good. Much better than the last time we were here.
You know what? Me too. I think that's the relief of having birthdays over.
Yeah, it's over now and 100%. It is what it is and it's done.
Yeah. Was yours good? It seemed good.
Oh, mine was really good.
Yeah.
I went to Miami and Fort Lauderdale with my family. It was really nice.
Yeah. When I talked to you on the phone, you didn't seem like so excited. But
about being
it seems
there?
like she's having a good time. Yeah.
Oh my God, I was having such
Really?
a good time.
Okay.
Oh, I think you spoke to me specifically when my dad was getting on my nerves.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
You know? But I was with my family. Like, did they get on my nerves? Yes. But I still was so happy to be with them.
Literally say no more.
They can't help it. It's just how they are.
To spend a birthday with the family, I mean, I haven't done that in a long time, but I can imagine.
Because
tensions are high. Tensions are high in a birthday.
It was also my niece's birthday.
Right.
And it was like, I just wanted to go and get a pedicure. And he was like bothering me to help him with something for the rental car. And I'm like, it can wait. It is not urgent. It's my birthday. Let me go get my feet done.
Yeah.
Is that ridiculous?
Hard problem.
I mean, I understand that I just was in a mood too. Also, I was moody for my birthday. And I was just like, and then I kept being like, it's my birthday. And then my mom was like, okay, Carolina, I don't want to hear no more. All day you're going to say, it's my birthday. It's my birthday.
Yes, I am.
And I was like, don't do this.
Right.
One thing I realized, I was acting like my mom on my birthday because that's how my mom acts on her birthday.
Well, yeah.
She just like acts like a little diva. I don't usually do that.
Okay. I'm sure you do.
Actually, I'm very chill.
Really?
I'm very chill.
Are you?
Aren't you?
I don't know. This one was weird because I did the party on the day.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the only real freak out I had was like at midnight. Frank was busy with work and I was like, just waiting for him to pop into the room. Yes. Waiting for him to like pop into the room like with a martini or something fun. And I was like,
Melissa.
And it was like 12:08 and I was like, just like searing mad with rage. And then he came in and he was like, and he like kind of knew he fucked up.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
wasn't that mad about it though. It's like, whatever. But, if we were home, like we had just had dinner, like whatever, not a big deal. He was like underwater this is Leisure Center, by the way. And ultimately, I did feel foolish after because I was like, that's actually not a big deal at all. The next day, literally comes in with like a tray, sparkling wine, like a spread. And I was like, okay. So it just really wiped away most of the anger.
That's a good man, Savannah.
Savannah.
Oh, that's a very black reference. I'm sorry, sister.
All right, sorry.
You never seen Waiting to Exhale?
I actually haven't seen Waiting to Exhale.
Ooh, Melissa, we got to get you watching Waiting to Exhale.
There's sometimes
there's a lot of references.
I know a lot of pop culture, and then there's a lot of wide gaps.
Mm-hmm.
And things I haven't seen.
But this isn't regular pop culture. This is black culture. This is like black pop culture. You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm pretty versed, but no,
yeah.
sure I can.
No, so I'm surprised you haven't seen it. Yeah.
Thank you.
But I feel like at midnight on my birthday, I was like, oh, I was like out with my family drinking.
Did they notice?
And they were eating. No.
Okay.
They didn't notice.
Does
oh no,
it
might have been before midnight. It might have been before midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And by midnight, I think me and Hamide were picking up my parents from the airport and they didn't give a fuck.
Okay.
But I was like, Carolina, get out of the car and help us. And I was like, no. And I made Hamide do it.
Yeah. It's a child. It also made me think of like our last episode where it's like, okay, we're getting older. Like that's a very kind of in your 20s behavior. My birthday at midnight and then my actual birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Like I used to, for many years during my 20s, I would like party and get fucked up for my birthday at midnight and then spend my birthday hungover. And it would be like a problem. I'd be like, I can't do this again next year. And then I'd like do it
again. Yeah.
So I felt like this was a good like transition of habit for me where it's like, actually that doesn't matter that much, which is really, I feel like a little child saying this, but whatever. The whole day as a whole was really, really good. My grandma called me with my aunt. I'll like literally cry talking about it, like saying me happy birthday. I don't always like catch it when she calls. If I miss it, I'm like, no. Caught it. Party was great. I really can't complain.
Yeah, the party was really fun.
It was really good.
And Frank Leisure Center, got you a sandwich cake.
That was a shock to me.
That sandwich
I did really
was
love it.
bomb.
He made it. He made it. He said he had to
Do you
run around.
understand that is a good man, Savannah?
I know.
I don't care if you don't get the reference. He made that?
Yeah, he got a big piccata. I know.
I will steal your man.
and
Maybe I'll
I
steal
know.
Melissa's man. Maybe that's what I need to
try.
do.
You can try.
I'm not hating on
He's all
Hamide.
tied up.
He does his best, but he just doesn't have that inner romantic like
He's
Frank.
my
He's
track
so
record,
romantic.
it's just like eccentric men.
Yeah.
It is it's nonstop.
I'm obsessed.
I know. It was really
He
cute.
made it. I can't get over it.
Yeah.
One time, Frank got Melissa a heart-shaped pizza that said, "I love Melissa."
Yeah. She brings that up a lot.
I
She brings that
can't
up a lot.
let it go. I find that so romantic.
I don't even know if he meant it to be romantic. I think he was like, ha, ha, as more of a gag.
Yeah.
But you're right.
I
There is some
found
romance
it to be
to
the
it.
most. I remind Hamide of that pizza every single time I can.
A guy did that for me in high school too. Like a heart thing. I didn't like him. Whatever. Well, I guess that leads into our topic.
Our topic today, which is breakups.
Breakups.
Not makeups.
Not
I don't do that. Do you do that?
What?
Break up and then make up?
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I just thought about it. And I was
not
yeah.
well, it's not a serious breakup then.
Yeah.
I'll do like fake outs
Oh, yeah.
every once in a while.
I love a good fake out. It's hard
Yeah.
to do a fake out when you're married because
I know.
he's really like, bitch, where are
I
you
know.
going? And I'm like,
I know. Living together, it's tougher too.
yeah, it's harder.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, do you ever have you ever had like a
An on and
bad
off.
breakup and then do on and off where you're like, this is over. And then the next thing you know,
I did
you're
in
back.
college. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. With my Greek ex-boyfriend, who I feel like is going to be a major topic. This was like one of my most traumatic relationships where it's like, yeah, we spent months apart, came back together, and probably shouldn't have, for sure. Like, I feel like when you do a hard breakup, at least for me, then like there's enough reason where it's like, this should not come back.
Come back together.
What about you? You were on and off with Jonathan
For years. For years.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what, the breakups were bad, but the makeups were good.
That's what got me back in this one as well.
Whew, the makeups were good.
I bet. I am fascinated by this relationship that you've had.
With Jonathan?
With Jonathan.
I know,
Because
it's insane.
I've never met him. I don't know anything about him. But
Yeah.
like you turn into just a little bit different version of yourself
It's
when you talk
a weird
about him.
thing. It's a weird thing. I have
This
no
was-
idea why.
And for the audience, this is one who she was like
This
trying
was
to go
my
to lunch
love.
with and shit.
Oh, yeah. I think it was
recently.
But also, this was like the one person where I can say like I was truly in love. Besides my husband now, which I now know that wasn't real love. What I have now is real love.
Why wasn't it real love?
It wasn't real love. Well, I don't think it was reciprocated. Like he says that it was, but I was like, you did not love me.
For how many years though?
For years. He said he loved me, but I was like,
How many
think
years
you
did you
love
date?
me? I mean, I met him when I was 24.
Till what, 30?
Yeah, I think we probably stopped when I was 30.
That's really long.
That's really long.
How long were the breaks?
They were, on and off. Like one time we dated for like 3 years straight, I want to say. 2 or 3 years straight. But
Okay.
then other than that, like it was like we would date and then we would break and then we would date and we would break. And it would always be the same thing. Like we just were not compatible as
Are you
people.
calling him your boyfriend when you were breaking?
He was my boyfriend. He's always been my
entire time.
boyfriend. Yeah. Even when we were on breaks, I was like, that's my
That's my
motherfucking
boyfriend.
boyfriend. And he gonna come back. And he gonna come back. I would cry and then I'd be like, he's fucking coming back.
That's so.
See you in a couple months.
There's something
bitch.
so addictive about that. The drama. And I think that's why I do the fake outs now, even
Mhm.
sometimes. It's just for like whatever chaos.
I literally
I
this
want.
morning, Hamide went to kiss me goodbye and like he hadn't done anything to me, but like his energy wasn't like excited to see me this morning. So he went to kiss me goodbye and I went, and then he was like, and then he started to walk away and I was like, come back and kiss me.
That's psycho.
I know.
That's real psycho.
But
But
fun.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were going to talk about some celebrity couples. Wait,
Yeah.
have you been cheated on? I was thinking about this when I was writing these out.
I
You've
can
not been cheated
honestly
on.
say I have not been cheated on to my knowledge.
To your knowledge.
And you better believe I look. Because I'm
Well,
Latina and it's just.
Anyone would be silly not to.
People don't look. I even check how many people think it's weird that I check his phone now. It's not that he's done anything to me. It's just my personality and I'm nosy.
Right. It is funny to me to think of Hamadeh wasting a moment of his day and that he would schedule in time. I guess, honestly, though, as an Uber driver, that's actually a really good career to have if you're a cheater. Me driving around, I'm out, I'm doing whatever. Even if you're like, well, I guess if you have, do you have his location?
Absolutely. Okay. I have his location, but it's like, so he could be doing Uber. He could be anywhere doing Uber.
Well, he's not going to be well, yeah, I guess he could be driving around hooking up.
That's true. I mean, he could, but I don't think that he does just because of his personality.
This is so
but
funny.
Then it's also like, that's how bitches get cheated on.
You can never fully rest easy.
You can't rest easy. That's my thing. My mom always says that. She's always like, don't get too comfortable.
Yeah, you never know.
And that's why I like, that's why people are always like, why do you bother him when he sleeps? Because I want him to know that I'm always watching.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
I feel like your man should never be too comfortable. He should always kind of be on the like just a little bit on the edge of his seat. Like, what's she gonna do now? What's she gonna do?
Keep him on his toes. In a major way.
Yes.
Cover your tracks if you're gonna fuck around.
And the thing is that even though he's an Uber driver, I am around, like, I'm in more situations where I can flirt and be like cheating on him than he is on me. Because if he's just working, like, he's just working. And also his personality is not flirty. I'm going
to say there's maybe like a maximum 4% chance.
Yeah.
That Hamadeh's
if anyone's going to cheat, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if anyone's going to cheat in this
relationship, you have a lot more opportunities.
I have more temptation, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what my friend said to me? I almost said my friend's name. But my friend I said to her, she was talking to me about her relationship. And I was like, you are inching out of this relationship. It's like, you're like that Homer Simpson meme where he's just like sliding into the bushes. Away. Yeah, she's just like.
She's fading it out.
Little by little fading it out. And I'm like, why don't you just break up with him? She's like, oh, no, but I love him. She's like, but you know what? I just am like horny and I want to have sex with other people.
Great.
And she's like, what about you? She's like, are you really going to have sex with one person for the rest of your life? And I was like, to be honest, so far, yes. So far, I've not truly wanted to have sex with. I've seen people been like, oh, that guy's cute, or, ooh, what would that be like? And sometimes I flirt, but I'm not ever, even on vacations when I think I'm going to meet someone.
She was really excited to go to Scotland. And she was really pissed. She was like, I can't believe I'm finally in the land of ginger. She's obsessed with ginger guys.
I love them so much.
And she couldn't do anything.
But I didn't even feel tempted to.
You were upset going in, though.
Because that's the best part of vacation. It's like vacation romances, vacation hookups, okay? Like, you just meet someone, eyes locked in a bar and
forget.
Tahiti.
It's the most magical thing in the world. I know. It's brutal. It's not people to do that. I don't know. It's like, well, your friend fading out a relationship, I do understand that, because I think for me, especially when I'm so scared of like permanent decisions, don't have tattoos, really get upset every time I move, like any of these like big choices.
So you can always go back.
Well, you can always go back, but to me, when I do the breakup and I mean it, we're not going back. Like, and that's scary. So I think it's easier to fade out a relationship.
She's like that too, and I think that's why she's fading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that tactic. I do think that I don't know, maybe it is really efficient. Like, my last breakup, which was really, really big, I like moved to New York, all this kind of stuff. And I stayed with him after I moved, even though I knew we were going to break up. That was like the same kind of thing. Like, I probably should have ended it before I got here, but it was just like too many big things to deal with at once. Like, I thought maybe it could work, maybe.
But did you really, really, really like him? And that's why you didn't want to fade it out? Or you were just like, I don't know if I'm going to change my mind?
I was like, I really, really loved him, for sure. But I knew that I did not want to stay where we were living. Like, he didn't want to leave, bigger and better whatever. Things. Yeah, it was more of a life decision. I was 24. Come on.
Good decision.
I think good decision. But then, like, I guess I didn't know for sure. It's like, what if I knew I wasn't going to move here and hate it. But I was like, what if it'll work, or what if whatever? But then once I was here and I felt the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I was like, no, I obviously, like, my life is here. it's not going to work out.
I can't do that. I feel like I think I learned my lesson with Jonathan, so that after all my breakups after Jonathan, every time I was like, okay, I really have to be done with someone, I had to just be done with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I broke up with Demi, who was never really my boyfriend, but we were exclusively dating each other.
I remember.
I had to we had a conversation. Taurus, very serious, very.
And Virgo Taurus is cute.
Virgo Taurus is cute. Like there was something there, but then also I just wasn't the person for him and he wasn't the person for me. It wasn't the right time in our lives, I don't think. And we had that conversation. And when we had that conversation, I literally left his apartment and like blocked him on everything, deleted him on everything. I had to pull myself away because I liked him so much.
Yeah.
And I was like, we both know this just is not it. And I'm not going to be able, I don't trust myself with the self-control of like having his, like, I just needed to cut it off. I was like, I just shouldn't have access to this man.
Well, with that breakup.
Because I liked him.
Yeah, of course. And with that last breakup, even though we were living in different cities, he was like, eventually, because I'd come back, I'd be sad and text him or whatever, he would reach out to me. And then he was just like, okay, if we're doing this, he called me on New Year's Day. I hadn't gone to bed yet.
Ooh.
It's like 5 p.m. He calls and he's like, I need 1 month of no contact.
Okay.
I was crying. It was so emotional.
Mm.
I remember brushing my teeth, crying, trying to go to bed. It was so dramatic that I was like, I'm not going to have a relationship for so long. And I didn't for like 5 years after that. I was like, I'm not getting in anything. Just because I was like the aftershock of that whole relationship. And then like a month passed and I'm immediately like, hi. And he's like, I'm shocked that you texted me. And I was like, why? And he was like, well, do you want to be together? And I was like, oh no. And he was like, I was like, no, I just, this was a crazy month. Like, I got to tell you what's up. And he's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And then I realized like how, I'm 24. So it's like I was being very selfish in all of it. But it's like, it's just hard to cut the cord.
It's hard to cut the cord. That's why I just learned my lesson from Jonathan. I was like, I know that I like this guy. I know I got to cut this shit out. Yeah. I got to just pull it out from the root, baby.
I should have when I like,
no,
broke
but
up
I
with
think
him,
we
like,
all need to
him.
do that one relationship where it's on and off. I feel like, Jonathan, I needed to do that in order to move forward.
I never even saw that as on and off. It was just me like delaying the actual cutting off. And you know when it really did stop was like the one time where like I kind of knew he was seeing someone where I'd like text him to like do our thing where it's like, I miss you. And then he was literally like, okay, well, why don't you move? He was living, this guy was crazy. He was living like on some sort of, I think he moved to like a commune. Like he was on like some sort of a pecan farm or like, it was so crazy. Like this guy was really something.
She loves an eccentric man.
And he was like, okay, come here. And I was like, and he was like, I'll get you a flight right now. And I was like, okay. And he was like, do you want? Like, what time is good? And I was like, okay, fine. No, like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right. Like, he just kind of put me in my place about it. And then I was like, all right, there we go.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's get to our celebs. This was the summer of breakups.
It was the summer of breakups. And so many celebs broke up in so many different types of ways. And I feel like the biggest one that everyone was talking about this summer was Ariana and Tom from Vanderpump Rules.
Which started
people who never even watched that show. Like the drama was so big that Bravo put out like a list of episodes you could watch to catch up on everything. And people were doing that. Like people just were like, I need to know. It was everywhere.
It saved the show.
It did.
The show was scheduled to be canceled.
It did save the show.
And I'm not going to be a total conspiracy theorist.
Do you think anything. I was just saying, do you think it's fake?
I don't think it's all fake, but I do think it might be produced. And here's what I have to say. It is a little bit convenient that everything came out not on camera. This is what I think. I think that Tom probably told Ariana in private that the affair had been going on. And I say this because they are still living together now. So imagine all of that happened with them. And they're still in the same house.
Yeah.
So I think he probably told her and she was like, okay.
How are they in the same house? She has a new man.
Listen, I think that he told her they're all aware the show's going to be canceled. I think maybe even production could have been involved. This is all alleged. Don't sue me. Production could have been involved to say like, okay, let's do it in this way. where Ariana finds out with the phone, whatever, there's the phone call, and they let the cast find out, like, that all I think was organic, but I think, like, they knew to whatever. Tom is under so much financial stress at this point because of Shorts and Sandy's. He's used his mother's retirement fund. They're drowning in debt. They remortgaged the house they have together. So, like, that's another issue. Like, neither of them could afford for this show to go off the air. I don't think he had the affair for that reason, but I think that, like, it could have been kept quiet and they decided to have it play out on the show for that. So I think that there is some sort of alliance, financial or otherwise, between Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix.
Really? She does seem to really hate him, though. So you think she's acting?
I'm sure she does on some level, but I think that, like, there's still business underneath. And even Jax, you know, Jax is obviously the truth teller. Leisure Center and I are watching from the beginning. We just started randomly.
Repeat that and hear yourself.
What?
Jax is obviously the truth teller?
That's not what I mean. Jax is a huge liar.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He reads everyone's relationships, is what I mean. No, not a truth. I correct myself. But he has said for a long time that their relationship was business and
he has
branded and whatever. So, like, that does explain why they're still living together. And I think why it might be more put on than we realize. Okay, that's it. Don't sue me, Bravo.
No, I mean, I that's an interesting take. I just want to believe that everything was organic. Obviously, I think there's a level of production involved.
Sure.
But I do think that, like, I think
the heartbreak was real. Oh, no, 100%. But I
just think the way they presented it was fake.
I do.
Okay.
I think there's some level of that.
Yeah.
Because
and what
why
about,
are they living
what's
together?
her name? What's her
Raquel.
name?
I think she just got absolutely fucked.
Yeah.
She got really fucked.
Yeah, but I also, like, she got fucked, but she also fucked around with her friend's man.
100%.
And
I just mean business-wise.
Yes.
Okay, that aside. So I have had one Vanderpump Rules style relationship with my Greek ex-boyfriend where it's like, is he cheating? Is he not? So much drama, whatever. You know what I mean? And I think that is, like, the core of Vanderpump culture in the first place. So that's why Tom probably didn't feel that fucked up about doing it.
No, my question is, have you ever cheated on someone?
Yeah, but it was murky.
Yeah.
Murky.
I've never cheated on someone, but I did some shady shit. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like I hooked up with one guy and then hooked up with my ex-boyfriend the next day.
Well, that doesn't, like you were dating the first guy and then.
No, they were just, I mean, he was just someone.
Oh, okay. Well,
but I felt really like, I'm a bad girl. You
are a bad girl. You are a bad girl.
I felt like, to me at the time, that was like the worst thing I've ever done. So I was like, I'm a bad little nasty girl. And I'm just like, I don't care about men. And I'm just like, And I have no regrets. And I remember the next day when I hooked up with my ex-boyfriend, I just remember being like, whatever, I needed that.
I love that.
Because at the time I was just like, this motherfucker does not love me and I love him so much. And and I have no regrets on that.
Yeah.
I feel like I should have regrets on that shit, but I don't have any regrets. I felt good about it. And
I'm seeing no issue. I'm seeing no issue with you.
Okay, thank you. I feel like a lot of people would be like, that's fucked up and it's wrong.
Wait, why?
I don't know.
You were under no commitment to either of them, right?
No.
Yeah, then I don't understand. I think you want to be bad. You want to be worse than you are, which is admirable.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, to me, the most frustrating thing and what they deal with on Vanderpump all the time is like, did you do it or not? And that's what my Greek ex-boyfriend put me through, where it's like, people were telling me stuff that was happening. He's in Greece for 3 months, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, they're like, he's not acting like he has a girlfriend. I found like photos on Facebook that were like private.
He probably
and not
wasn't.
seen to
How
me.
old are you? This is high school?
No, this was
college.
Well, but still, yeah, I'm like maybe 22 or something.
Yeah, I mean, he probably wasn't.
Probably wasn't.
You think he was over there acting like he had a girlfriend? If you're seeing photos
yeah. Exactly. I'm sure he was cheating on me. But I think he thought I was cheating on him, and I literally wasn't.
Yeah, should have been.
I should have been.
Yeah.
That's when I should have been fucking around with.
Yeah. I feel like there are instances where, like, I should have done something grimy, but I didn't. Or I could have. Oh, so many times. Especially back in the day. I could have been so...
Yeah. I think sometimes in general, it's hard to like regret like a hookup moment that you didn't take, even if it's not for a relationship thing. It's like, damn.
It's not even a relationship
Sometimes
thing.
even
It's like I could have fucked that guy and I didn't because I was trying to be nice.
I was trying to be nice. I was trying not to like cause drama in a friend group or like some shit like that. And it's like, just don't.
But I mean, when it comes to the drama with the friend group, I say be careful with that.
That's true.
It depends. I also feel like when it comes to my friends and boys, like I don't, ooh, she's hitting it. She's hitting it. It's good flavor too, yo.
That's
mango
nice.
Something.
No, you do have to be careful in the friend
You have
group.
to be careful because is it ever gonna, like, it's like, will this be worth it? It's probably not. Look at fucking Raquel.
Yeah.
Rachel.
Well,
look at
crazy.
Rachel.
That what a chance
she
to take.
hooked up with her friend's man and she lost.
Well, this is another
and
conspiracy
Ariana
thing.
won.
This is another conspiracy that I think it was happening during James because now like I'm watching back. Tom had something against James because James was hooking up with Kristen Doughty, who I've really developed a soft spot
for. But that was so long ago.
Yeah, but still, I think that he was probably a little bit. But I don't know. I think that most of the guys in that show feel entitled to whatever they want to do. Do you think it motivated
him to be like, I'm going to go hook up with Raquel?
Yeah, I think that there was a closeness.
That
you know what I mean? Like
he
has done shit to me. I've now done shit to him.
But he just sucks. Like I don't find.
Of course.
Like I will let anybody play me, but I'm not about to let Tom Sandoval play me. No. And that's why I think she's looking at it like I let Tom play me. Of all the people to play me, I let Tom play me. And Raquel also let Tom play her. And I do think that he was producing her. And I do think that he was like telling her what to say and how to act and being really sneaky.
Without question. And I think it started before she and James broke up too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Remember, what did James do? Raquel Cella?
Mm-hmm.
And then Tom paid for it?
Yeah.
That's fucking
whatever.
weird.
It's all insane. My point with this whole thing is, how are you living with someone after they cheated on you? That's kind of crazy. And we don't know the ins and outs, but if you have been cheated on, I think that is at least kind of a clean slate. If you are like, okay, I'm done with it, at least you have the best kind of breakup you can have is like when you have a right to be angry and you can feel validated and you'd be like, I'm above this. And you can like start a new life.
What about when people get cheated on and they don't break up with the person?
I did that in high school.
But I think that like, I think now I always felt like I was like, if someone cheats on me, I will leave them. But I'm not going to lie, now that I am married and like, I mean, obviously it's been 3 years, so it's not that big of a deal. I feel like maybe like now at this point, it would be easier for me to break up with him if he cheated on me. But like, for example, I have a family member whose husband during the pandemic cheated on her. And this is an aunt. Like this is, you know, comparable to my parents' marriage, like 30-something years of marriage. And they are back together now. And
that's hard.
That, I don't know. Maybe if you're with someone for longer, it's easier. I could see that. I'm going to sit here and spend my entire life with you. I've loved you, built my life with you, planned my future with you.
Right.
You do this thing and it really hurts me. And it's like, could I find a way to forgive you? I'm like, it probably would be easier for me to find a way to forgive you because if you come back and you are really sorry and you are going to act right and you understand that like you are now under my thumb and you happily get under that thumb, you know what I mean? It can't be like you get under the thumb, but you complain. No, you got to get under my thumb and then be like, because her husband, my uncle, is under the thumb and he's like, well, this is where I'm at now because I did this is what I deserve. So this is where I live at. Happy to be here, back in the thumb. So I'm like, isn't that so hard?
I can't imagine that. I really can't. Well, also like something else that's come up is all of these like late in life divorces. I read an article where it was like people with 30 years of marriage, whatever, are leaving.
That's crazy. Hugh Jackman and his wife.
It's actually becoming very common. Even they're saying like in like senior homes, like people are splitting up later, which I kind of love this. And maybe this is a controversial
But that also
take.
makes sense to me too, though, because your kids are grown. You've lived this. Even if you lived a good life with this person, that actually makes more sense to me than a lot of other things. Because like we've lived this good life together, and I still fuck with you.
But we don't have to do this.
But like, maybe I want to go do something else because it's been 30 years. And it's, especially because a lot of the girls who have been married for 30 years, their husbands are the first people they've ever had sex with.
Sure.
Their husbands are the only people they've had sex with.
I mean,
which is crazy. So I think like after 30 or 40 years, if you're just like, you know what, it's been great, but I need some space.
But that also like, it's kind of like, how do you view like a quote unquote successful relationship? Is it like, oh, lasting forever is the only success? Because if you talk about someone who's been together for 10 or 15 years, like that's a successful relationship.
But they might not be happy.
That's what I'm saying. Like if you get out of a relationship and you have a breakup, it's kind of like, okay, congratulations.
Yeah.
So many people sit in a situation that they don't want to be in. And they're not happy.
Exactly.
Just to avoid that. So it's kind of like the brave thing is to have the breakup if you're not happy.
You know what? I think that's what it is with the breaking up. Like not breaking up and breaking up if you've been cheated on if you've been in a long relationship. I think that's what it is from what I've seen.
So many details that matter with the cheating. It's like, is it one mistake? Is it a long-term thing where you're living a double life for months and months? Or was it like, okay, I think
a lot of those things matter. And I think a lot of those things sometimes still don't matter. I think ultimately, like what you said is, can we still be happy?
That's exactly it.
I also think there's that. I think it's, can we still be happy? Because if we can't, then we got to move on. And I think that's the thing with like being in a 30-year relationship in general. Are we still happy? Because if we're not, bitch, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
Like I got so many summers left. Yeah. Like, let me go and like, let's do 100%. Our own thing.
100%. And like, I think obviously it's so scary to like start new.
I mean,
start a new life, literally.
Yeah.
And like,
I feel like I would embrace that though. Once I got over the heartbreak, I feel like I could embrace the new life. Cause you know me, I like to have fun.
But it depends also a lot on like finances. Like a lot of people are like financially entangled. I had a friend who I supported through an affair. She was living with someone in a relationship. And I did think for a while that he was going to leave. But even though I do think he really did, like, maybe not love my friend fully, but like at least close to it.
Yeah.
The amount of properties he had with his wife, the amount of like shit that they had financially entangled and the plans that they made, like it's really hard to break those.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's a good person by any means. I'm just saying like just logistically, it was going to be really hard for him to choose love or happiness, even if he would have been happier with my friend, which who knows?
Yeah.
It was just like too messy to get out for him. I mean, you know, you can probably
for
choose
him,
anything.
But for the woman, sometimes it's not so messy. It's messier for the man. Sometimes it's harder for the man. Like my uncle was complaining to me about his friend who's getting a divorce right now. He's not complaining to me. He's just like, I just feel so bad for him. Like he has to pay her $2 million. I'm like,
well, I don't think that matters man or woman. I think it's like, you mean the person who has more money? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like usually it's the guy because he is the one.
Okay, feminist.
No, I'm just saying in this instance, sometimes the man doesn't want to break up because of finances. Like he wants to go and be.
Why does it matter if it's the man?
The man or the woman, you're right. Man or the woman. People don't want to break up because of the finances.
That was the whole point of my story that I just told. Both of them, it would cost them too much money, and separating the finances would have been too complicated.
For both of them is what you're saying.
Yes, for both of them, because they're not high net worth enough. Like they're living in New York, they do have money, but it's easier for wealthy people to divorce, a la fucking Kyle and Mauricio.
You said it's easier for them to divorce or harder?
It's easier to divorce when you have money.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like they have properties, they have shit. They're both be paying lawyer fees to fight over all of this stuff. Like it was just too messy.
If you have more disposable income to pay for those things, is what you're saying.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's just easier to. That's why like celebrities get divorced probably more than
true. Regular people.
It's expensive.
I mean, that's true.
It's expensive to get divorced, and you know. It's like, okay, yeah, keep that house, keep that, whatever. Like if you're fighting for your resources and you're splitting, it's easier to like remain a team and remain united at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Even if you're not like completely happy in the situation. Then on top of that, if we're talking about Kyle, the identity of being wife, mother, all of these things.
Kyle Richards and Mauricio from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills are not divorced, but separated. And that separation is juicy just because she built her whole identity around being his wife and being the mother to those girls. Mm-hmm. And now she's popping out with this like queer country singer, being in videos, and
which I love. And that's what, like, I think I'm all for any, like, I hate this bullshit of like, oh, your life is over once you're
I'm just glad
30,
that she
40,
understands
married,
that her happy ever after doesn't have to be a man. Her happy ever
That's
after
what I'm
doesn't.
saying. The late in life queer journey.
Yes.
Miranda Hobbs, whatever. Is it cute? Not always, but it is necessary and important for everyone to see because, yeah, maybe you didn't get to that level of self-discovery before you settled down. And like, we are tied to our biological clock, unfortunately, generally. And I think to our point of what is a successful marriage, they were together for how many years? They had all of these girls and they created like a family environment that did look really beautiful, at least on the show.
And it was successful. And now it's
That's what I'm saying.
But things can be successful and then have an end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And I love
Well, I'll tell you what, Mauricio is going to be a hot ticket. Bitches have wanted Mauricio for a long time. Yeah. And but the other thing is like, we don't know what he has done. It seems like he has been faithful. There was always cheating rumors. There were always cheating rumors. You know, the rumor between him and Dorit. That one was funny. I don't believe it.
I find that hot. I don't know. I think him and Dorit together is so cute.
I think Dorit is a robot. I cannot imagine Dorit having sex.
Really? I can. No, I think she loves PK and I think she and PK together.
I know, but I feel like she just like, she like gets, like puts on lingerie and like does a full face of makeup and then like lays down and she's like, okay, PK.
And doesn't move. Maybe.
Yeah, I just feel like she's not like, I just feel like she's like a little robotic for me.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fair. That is fair.
There's nothing wrong with being a pillow princess. I'm a pillow princess most of the time. Most of the time, to be honest. Just, you know, once in a while I pop out, do a little something.
Do some work.
Yeah, once in a while I'll do some work. I'll pop out and do some work. But I also will say no to the work.
Of course.
Somebody told me took my go.
I'm not always
get on
the
top.
clock.
I said, I'm not getting on top today.
I'll get on top, but you're doing the work still.
I'll get on top, but I just wasn't in the mood. I was like, I want to lay here pillow princess style.
Yeah, of course.
So I said, we don't have to have sex.
Wow.
And
you're legally bound to me. Guess what?
We don't have to have sex. We did, but I said, I don't need it. But I was lying, I did.
Well,
sometimes you gotta play hard to get.
Sure. Mind trick.
Okay, so what I wanted to hear what you think about what my Uncle Juan was saying about his friend. So his friend has to give the wife $2 million. And Uncle Juan is saying that that's not fair. And I'm like, well, how long have you been married? I'm like, over 30 years. Why is that not fair? And I'm like,
well, obviously,
$2 million, not to be shady, but it's like, if he has $2 million, exactly, he doesn't have to give her all of his money. No, because it's a long time ago. And
then you get half. No?
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, what's wrong with that? They split it down the middle. It's not like he's going to be penniless. He's still going to have like $2 million and probably more that she might not know about.
I see, even from a legal standpoint, nothing wrong with that.
I don't see anything wrong with that. But he's like, you don't understand. It's not fair. He's the one that did all the investments. He's the one that did all the work.
As much as I love Tio Juan, I don't know that he's going to be the open-minded, forward-thinking
Absolutely not sometimes. I love Tio Juan, but sometimes he says stuff and I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
But you know who else broke up that this makes me think about them as well? Like not to break up and be friends and be chill about it. And like Tiana Taylor and Iman Shumpert. Tiana Taylor is an R&B singer, choreographer, dancer, creative director. She's everything and she's fabulous. And the body has always been sickening. And she has 2 kids with Iman Shumpert, who is a basketball player. And they're a very cute couple. Like they have always, but here's the thing, like they broke up and then they were like, we didn't know they broke up. She hadn't said anything, he hadn't said anything. And then there were like pictures of him with another girl and like some girl wearing his chain, you know. And she put on Instagram, she posted on Instagram, she said, leave my bestie alone. She said, first of all, we've been separated for several months or however long. And it was not because of infidelity. It's not a problem. I don't have a problem with him. Let him live his best life. Leave him alone. And I just thought that was so fun and nice and cool. And I was like, you guys just were like, we don't want to do it anymore, but we still fuck with each other because they always seemed like friends. They always, their relationship was always like very playful, very like,
Yeah.
I love that for her.
I love that too. And I think there is something to be said for like, if you were a team, you can keep like each other's best interests at the forefront. And like, especially if you're in the public eye, to like have a united front against all of that, even if you're living separately.
It's so rare though. I feel like celebrities don't do that.
Agreed.
Like this is to me the first time it happened.
It takes so much maturity to do that. To be like, yes, he's with another girl and that's okay. We've been handling this, you know, whatever. But that's like, that is the right thing to do.
But I also think Teyana Taylor has like a real big bag of self-confidence.
I mean, as she should.
You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like she's like, I'm that bitch. It's whatever. Like, that's her energy. And I love that.
That's a great way to like move out of a relationship.
That's how you break up. Shit.
That is the best, I think, mindset you can have coming out of a relationship is I'm confident. I can't wait for my new life. I'm fine.
And I'm sure she's living it up. And like, they just don't have pictures of her.
Yeah.
A lot of the girls are saying that she, also they always talked about having an open relationship.
And maybe they did.
And they talked about like, she's like, I mean, they've like alluded to like threesomes and like having this. So I'm like, if that's how the marriage was, there's no need for drama in the end.
Yeah, of course. Well, I think that like we know like 10% of all of these scenarios, even if they're talking about it. Like one that I haven't heard a lot of details about that I find fascinating was the Jeremy Allen White divorce, who's the guy.
But I feel like that one is very easy. He blew up. He got very, very famous.
I know, but it's like, can you imagine the ins and outs of being like suddenly a sex symbol? You got married kind of young. You have 2 kids. I mean, he'd had a career for so long and I was ahead of the curve. I always thought he was hot on Shameless. But yeah, once he was on The Bear, everyone's, yes, chef. He's so hot.
It got bigger, yeah.
Can you imagine like your husband is all of a sudden like one of the hot, like every housewife in like the Midwest is even like, ooh, he's cute. You know what I mean? That's hard.
I mean,
that shifts dynamics in a relationship in a crazy way.
But also it's probably like more temptation for him, more like
that's what I'm saying.
Him being in the spotlight. As opposed to her being like, I mean, she might just be like, whatever about it, you know?
And we don't know.
We don't know.
We have no idea what's going on behind their closed doors.
And maybe that's what it was. The other thing is maybe she, you know, he blew up and she was like, whatever. I was always here. You're the same to me.
Well, and also like they could have been open. They could have had like, you know, any sort of.
Open relationships they seem so
they could have had problems before
like
that.
So many people have them. And a lot of people are fine. Listen, is it a lot of drama? But a lot of people in open relationships are just like, fine.
I mean, yeah, I think thriving even,
yeah.
Here's the thing.
It's like, not for me, but.
I don't know if it's not for me, to be honest.
Right now,
like,
it's not for me.
I am very territorial and very competitive even in that sense. But like, I'm friends with so many gay people where it's just like, so like obvious and easy to like not. I'm like, that would make life so much better and easier. But I think there is some sort of heterosexual complications with that. The gay people just, it's easier.
It's nice.
But there is, I think, obviously, everyone always says communication is the number one thing. Because it's like you can be open, but you cannot be deceptive.
Yes.
If you're in an open relationship, you still have to adhere to, like, this is our agreement and our situation and, like, the connection.
But it takes also, like, a huge amount of maturity, trust. It's not even trust for me. I'm too jealous. And not only that, it's just I'm immature. I like the thought of Hamide saying to me, like, okay, bye, I'm going on a date. I'd be like,
sure. But I think what it is like wanting your partner to have that experience and like not wanting to deny them of like fun.
I would have to be there.
Life.
I want to be there. If anything, we need to like,
great.
If we were going to open it up, it would have to be like an open, like I have to be there. We have to be there together. Like we're doing something together. It can't be like, no.
Fair. Do you want me to mediate this for you and Hamide?
Yeah, you can try. He will say no.
Remember when we came up with that plan where I was like, I think you should just like have a girl there.
Yes.
And Hamide comes home.
Yes. When I was like, I want to have a threesome. I just decided one day I met this girl and I don't know why, but for some reason I was just so attracted to her. And I was like, this is the first time ever I was like, I'm attracted to her. I would want to be with her, and I would want to see Hamide with her, and I would want to like, I'm just turned on. I'm turned on by her, period. And you know what? Her name was Molly. Not our friend, but a girl named Molly.
Cool.
How funny is that?
Why is that funny?
I don't know. I just didn't think that the girl that I would want to have threesome with my husband would be named Molly.
This is Molly.
Yeah, this is Molly. But yeah, that would be the ideal thing, would to be just like, because I feel like with Ham, he's never going to agree to it ahead of time. You just have to like spring it on him and then see what he does. I would be so interested to see what he does. Maybe I will one day. I don't have the balls for it right now. I'm shy. I'm scared.
That's fair. I think it could also go very badly.
What if you did that?
I think Leisure Center would really adjust well.
You see, that's a good man.
He's good on his feet. He's good on his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd be fine. Wow. Well, I guess we're nearing our wrap up.
Yeah.
Was there one more couple we were going to talk about? Oh, Drew and Ralph. I just want to talk really quickly
about Drew and Ralph from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. This was a mess. But it was a mess for so long, and it just felt like he gaslit her on national TV for a couple of seasons now. Yeah. And everyone was like, you're being gaslit. And she was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. And then finally, she's fed up.
She's fed up. And like, I'm not saying that if she did mess around with the woman that people are saying she did, that it was justified.
That girl's hot. That girl is hot.
I'm just saying she had been put through it for a long time.
For a very long time.
That people can get pushed to a limit to where like maybe they're fed up enough to just do something about it.
You're cheating on me, disappearing to Florida, doing all kinds of shady shit, talking down to me, telling me I don't deserve a nice dinner, I deserve Lunchables, talking shit like that to me. And then some fine ass WNBA player strolls in who's taller than your man. Strolls in and is like, what's up? Like, I'm going to say, what's up?
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, he's not had her back in one way.
Never.
No, to the point where she's calling me a bitch. Everyone calls you a bitch.
What do you want me to do? But also, what about the relationship between Ralph and cousin Courtney? They're saying it's not cousins. It's kissing cousins.
Ew, I'm sure. Well, also, are they even real cousins?
No, they're not.
It's like
they're like
through
cousins
marriage,
by
whatever.
marriage.
Well, that was always a weird storyline to me. Like, it felt like Courtney obviously just wanted to get like a closer link into the cast and whatever. So it's like, oh, we're cousins. We were at sleepovers together when we were whatever. I don't understand if there's any positive like intention behind it. I don't see it.
I want to know what her check looked like because Courtney was working so hard to create and be in drama.
I'm going to say
it was inauthentic. And then she wasn't even getting paid for that.
You get paid based on your previous season. So she has no previous season. She's not making much. That's why, if we're scooting back to Raquel, if she came back to the show, she'd probably get paid really well. But because she was newer to the cast, she did not make much money for the season of Scandoval, and because she's leaving, she's not going to like reap any of them. I'm not saying that she should or shouldn't get money for it, but
I just feel like, why is she leaving if she could just like stay and make more money?
Because she's had it.
Yeah.
She's had it.
Yeah.
She's Rachel again.
She's Rachel again, but she's got to toughen up. It's like, you came in as Raquel, toughen up, go get some coin.
Do you know what I saw on TikTok?
What?
Someone read her aura and said this is maybe her first lifetime. That she is like an extremely young soul. And it's kind of insane that she even got famous because she's so new.
That makes sense. World. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gives me new to the world's energy.
Yeah.
You know what you give me? You give me you've been here for a while.
Really?
Yeah. You've been through a couple of moments. And like really funny ones too.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't done like a full past life thing.
You should.
I would like to.
I'm really interested to see if you've ever been a madam.
A madam?
Yeah. I could see you being a madam.
I would love that.
No.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I could also see you being like 1950s like bad housewife.
Really?
Like you're there, the other housewives are there, but you're the one who's like You're the one who's like supplying the drugs and like getting everybody to go to like, parties at your house.
Right. I'm
Parties at your house.
organizing like an underground lesbian hookup.
Yeah. You're doing all the shady shit. And then the husbands are like, what's going on at Melissa's house? Why do you guys love going there so much? Their wives are like getting fully
so
beat
funny.
to go over.
I feel like I was a man for sure.
Oh, for sure. At least once you were a man.
Yeah.
I feel like you were a man in like the 1930s. A bootlegger.
That'd be cool.
I can see you being a bootlegger.
That would be really fun.
Or
for
Italian
me.
in the mafia. Ooh.
I feel like you're just trying to guess me up. I would love that. I would love to be a mafia man. Are you kidding?
Would have been a great mafia man. I could see that for you.
I would thrive. I'd probably get shot, but it would be for a good reason. Damn. Yeah, you've definitely had some good lifetimes too.
I feel like I have.
Yeah. I don't know exactly why.
I feel like I was at least a hippie once in my life. Like a very just like nudist colony. Free the tits.
I could definitely see you running a nudist colony.
Yeah.
I feel like you want to be grunge so bad. She put on this shirt before we started recording. Like, did you love this? It's part of my punk look. And
I was like, doesn't it make it more punk rock?
Yeah. Maybe. Carolina is always like, nobody gets me. Everyone thinks I'm femme, but I'm butch. I'm so butch. So I feel like you've had some hardcore male or butch life
absolutely stuff. I feel like an athlete, like a butch.
You played rugby.
Yeah, I mean, I played rugby. I feel like in a past life, I was like a linebacker. You know what I mean? Like defensive D-line.
Yeah.
I feel like I was a big old man who used to eat a lot of food because I still can eat a lot of food.
I love that. I love that for you. Wow. Well, I guess if you're going through a breakup, stay strong. Block him.
Stay strong.
Block them, whoever they are.
Block them, but also just know once you get on the other side of that breakup, your mindset will completely change.
A few months tops.
Or even
maybe
a year.
It
took me a year to get over Jonathan.
I know. I have a friend going through it, and it's been a long time. And so much of it is ultimately ego, which I understand better than anyone. I'm like, I would be competitive with an ex, whatever. If they've moved on first, that's so hard and so painful. But if you can let all of that go and like realize that like you were still fucking going. You've created whatever you've created since then. And even if that's not big, like you still can.
But also I want to say, let yourself be sad. Let yourself be sad. And then like, once you can get like, give yourself the time and the space. I feel like don't try to delay it. Cause I feel like sometimes, what's that saying? The best way to get over someone is to get under one. And that is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. But,
Science.
just check in with yourself as you're going through that process.
Yeah.
Don't rush that, but do it because it really does help.
It certainly does. There's no denying that. But regardless, it's like not undermining the pain of a breakup is huge. Like just knowing that it is one of the hardest, because it's kind of like, everyone's like, oh, death is like the biggest pain. But actually it's like, if they're dead, they're gone.
Yeah.
Breakups are worse because they're still alive.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is.
To mourn something that's still alive and then watch them like keep living. No.
Don't watch him. You don't have to watch him. Don't watch him. Don't watch him.
You still know. You still know. It's still happening.
I mean, I know that my ex is alive, but I can't he has no social media. And that's probably great for me.
Same with my ex, and that's really nice.
Yeah, because it's
really
kind of
nice.
like they disappear.
T.
All
right, we got to go.
All right. Okay, everyone, like, subscribe.
Yes, subscribe.
We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. Get into either one of those things.
Yep.
And
thank you to our sponsor, Leisure Center.
Thank you to our
Center,
sponsor.
NYC, leisurecenter.shop. There's tons of, I got this at Leisure Center.
Did you? I was wearing Leisure Center yesterday.
Love it.
Vintage Moschino. Ma.